Hi there, everyone. Welcome back to 3 News Now. I'm Stephanie Haney. Today is Friday, September 10th. Thank you for being here for the top stories from WKYC.com and our WKYC app. And with today being Friday, tomorrow is the day. Tomorrow is Bike for the Cure, Cleveland Clinic's cancer research fundraiser. VeloSano is the name of the event. It's a year-long fundraising event. WKYC is a media partner, and there are 34 people on Team WKYC who are riding tomorrow, either virtually or in person, for VeloSano. And I just want to thank everyone who was with me on social media last night. I did something that I did last year. I did my annual, it's going to be an annual thing now apparently because we've done it 2 years in a row, push-ups for donations. So for every $10 that was donated between Tuesday and Thursday at the end of that live stream, I did one push-up. I ended up doing 76 push-ups last night. So thank you so much to the people who donated $760 in 2 days to bring my personal fundraising total to $1,315 right now. I want to thank you so much for your generosity. It's such a great cause supporting cancer research through the Cleveland Clinic's VeloSano event. There is still time to get involved, by the way, even though the race is tomorrow. If you are interested, you can check out my podcast this week with Executive Director Nicole Peters. You can find that at WKYC.com/3 Things to Know. And again, race day is tomorrow. Tomorrow is also September 11th, and it's been 20 years since the September 11th attacks that happened in 2001 here in the United States. And what we are doing is we are making sure that we honor the lives that were lost. You know, the official reports from the September 11th attacks will tell you that 2,977 people died that day. But that number extends beyond that. We have an article on WKYC.com right now about the uncounted victims of September 11th, and that includes a Cleveland FBI agent who responded to Flight 93 in Pennsylvania. I'm talking about Laura Fournier, and we had the opportunity to speak with her husband, Mike Fournier. Laura Fournier is one of the people who passed on after the September 11th attacks due to her exposure, it's believed, to chemicals at the site. Now, Lori was on the evidence response team, and when terrorists struck the World Trade Center, Pentagon, and the field in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, she and many other people were dispatched to those sites. Her husband, Mike, has pictures of her at the crash site of Flight 93, where she worked 10 to 12 hours a day for about 2 whole weeks. She was sifting through hot, fuel-soaked debris, looking for evidence, looking for human remains to try and bring the victims back, at least to find that closure for those families. She was returning victims to their families, not knowing that her own family would eventually be ripped apart because of the events of September 11th in 2001. Her husband said she wasn't thinking about that. She didn't notice it herself. They had masks on, they were wearing Tyvek suits, those are protection suits, and wasn't thinking about what would happen in the future. Well, she continued to work through the FBI. She received multiple awards and honors, but her exposure to the toxins of Flight 93 eventually caught up with her, and she found a lump in her thigh, and when it was extracted, it came back and it was melanoma. So she fought that cancer off, but then it returned and it took her life in 2009. What we heard from FBI Cleveland Special Agent in Charge Jeff Fortunato is that there's going to be many more agents who will ultimately succumb to what they were exposed to that day. Lori is among 18 FBI employees who became victims after 9/11, and more are still falling ill. So we want to make sure we honor those victims of September 11th as well. Her husband, Mike, says that he's sure none of the people were thinking 25 years down the road. They were thinking what they could do to help Americans that day. That's what FBI agents do every day. So when we remember the victims of the September 11th attacks on Saturday, tomorrow, 20 years after those initial attacks here back in 2001, let's also remember the victims after the fact and not necessarily those that were lost that day, and the loved ones and family members of everyone involved. Now, here in Northeast Ohio, former Cuyahoga County Jail Director Ken Mills has been found guilty of dereliction of duty and falsification. A jury found that today, and so after that, Ohio Attorney General Dave Yost tweeted the following. Under Mills' watch, drugs flowed freely and medical care did not. Inmates were attacked by corrections officers. With this conviction, Mills can think about his own potential time behind bars and hope that it will run better than the hellhole he ran for Cuyahoga County. Now, when he says potential time behind bars, of course, we now know that we have to await the sentencing phase, so that will come next, and as we have those updates, we'll be sure to bring them to you. 3 News reported last summer that Mills was indicted following a 2018 report by the U.S. Marshal's Office. That report found that inmates were being treated inhumanely, not being given proper medical care. Peter Elliott, U.S. Marshal for the Northern District of Ohio, called it a serious problem and that the system appeared to be broken. Now, after that report came out, Mills resigned in 2018, and now he will face sentencing for those crimes of which he was found guilty by a jury today. Now, the big news yesterday was that President Joe Biden announced a lot of new things going on with vaccines and masking. Now, today and late yesterday, university hospitals and the Cleveland Clinic have released statements following President Biden's vaccine mandate announcement. Both Cleveland Clinic and University Hospital, who have yet to previously announce a vaccine mandate for employees, will now be required to have employees immunized against COVID-19. And Northeast Ohio's other 2 major healthcare agencies, Metro Health and Summa Health, have both already announced vaccine mandates for all staff. Earlier this year, the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services issued a vaccine requirement for nursing home staff. Now, under the president's new plan, healthcare centers like hospitals, home health agencies, and dialysis centers will be doing the same. Now, 3 News did reach out to the Cleveland Clinic and University Hospitals for official comment. Here is what we received from the Cleveland Clinic. The COVID-19 vaccines are safe and effective and the best way to protect individuals from severe illness or death from the virus. We are awaiting more information and plan to comply with federal requirements. Nearly 80% of our caregivers have already received their COVID-19 vaccine. UH Senior Media Relations Strategist George Stamatis told us this last night. As we've maintained, we believe that the vaccines are safe, effective, and recommended. We believe in the science because we participated in developing the vaccines. COVID-19 vaccines prevent severe illness, hospitalization, and death. Until we have a chance to review the rules the president referenced in his address this evening, this was yesterday, we can't comment on the specific requirements, but believe that getting vaccinated is one of the most important ways that people can protect themselves, the people they care about, and their communities from COVID-19. Speaking of COVID-19 here in Ohio, let's take a look at the latest numbers, and they are high. They are very high. Ohio Department of Health Director Bruce Vanderhoff, Dr. Bruce Vanderhoff, had said earlier this week that he was alarmed at cases being 20 times what they were in July. Well, today they are 30 times what they were in July because there are now 9,019 new reported COVID-19 cases, according to the Ohio Department of Health, in the last 24 hours. The total number of deaths confirmed and probable is now at 21,154 related to COVID-19. Right now, there are 3,178 people in the hospital being treated for COVID-19 in Ohio, and out of those people, 873 of them are being treated in an intensive care unit. Now, if you've been on social media at all, you may have seen the video of a woman from Scottsdale, Arizona, coughing on customers at a grocery store in Lincoln, Nebraska. She's been called Coughing Karen. Well, she has now lost her job after being caught on camera for that, or is no longer working there. That's what we know. The woman who recorded the video first posted it on Reddit. She said her and her child were grocery shopping in Lincoln when a woman came up to them asking why they were wearing masks. There is a mask mandate in Lincoln, Nebraska, by the way. And then she said that the woman called them sheep and started coughing at them. You can hear the woman on camera saying, 2 years ago, before everyone started talking about COVID, you were okay going out not knowing if people were sick, right? Well, then that video got shared on TikTok and on Twitter. It was seen millions of times, and eventually someone identified the woman doing that coughing in the video as Janine Hoskovic from Scottsdale, Arizona. Now, our partner station, 12 News, tried to speak with her at her home and over the phone, but couldn't reach her. And SAP, which has been found out to be Hoskovic's employer, at least was her employer, confirmed it was investigating the situation and then later posted on Twitter, she no longer works there. Here in Northeast Ohio, there is a company working to eliminate food deserts, and that's a problem here, especially in the Cleveland area. That company is Yellow Banana, and they have bought 15 Save-A-Lot stores in neighborhoods with little to no access to fresh produce and meats to try and help hundreds of thousands of Clevelanders who are food insecure. They've taken over these stores and they plan to upgrade them and make them the newest go-to home grocery store in these vulnerable areas. Michael Nance is the co-founder of Yellow Banana, and he said he grew up off of St. Clair and 72nd Street. Their local Finest was closed down in the mid to late 90s, so he knows what it can be like if you're living in a food desert. Now, Yellow Banana is a Cleveland-based retail grocery platform, and they bought those Save-A-Lots as an ongoing effort to bring healthy food options to people with little or no access. That's what creates a food desert. That's what a food desert is. Now, according to research done by Case Western and Creating Healthy Communities, over 450,000 people in Cuyahoga County live in food deserts, and more than 150,000 people in the greater Cleveland area live in a food desert. So Yellow Banana says its philosophy is this: we all deserve food and job security no matter what part of town we live in. So Nance says they'll give people something they can take pride in, they'll eliminate a food desert in their neighborhood and make the area look better. When things look better, people feel better. So that's coming very soon, and those 15 Save-A-Lots already outfitted from the inside. They plan to make adjustments and improvements to the outside as well. Now, if you are a scary story person, this is for you. You could potentially get paid $1,300 to watch 13 Stephen King movies by Halloween. This is one of those promotions by US Dish, the Dish Network, and they just want to track you. They want to ask you some questions, get a little bit of information. They want to know if you liked the film, if you watched it alone or with friends, and how your heart rate was reacting during the creepy scenes. And if you do that and you answer the questions, you can get $1,300 if you are selected to participate. Now, you gotta be at least 18 years old. So if you're interested, here's the lineup. I am not interested, by the way, but in case you are, here's the lineup. Carrie, the original or the 2013 remake, Children of the Corn, Christine, Creep Show, Cujo. I am not interested in being afraid of a dog, not at all. It, the original or the 2017 remake, It Chapter 2, because you can't enjoy It Chapter 2 without having watched one of the original It's, right? Misery, The Mist, Pet Sematary, the original or the 2019 remake, Salem's Lot, The Shining, and Dr. Sleep. I don't even know some of these movies, and I don't want to. But if you want to, you can do that, and you can get the opportunity to potentially make $1,300 for doing something that hopefully you enjoy, or maybe you don't enjoy. I don't know. Maybe you want to step out of your comfort zone. Again, not my thing, but cheers to all of you who might want to do that. Okay, that is it for our 3 News Now update for Friday, September 10th. The next time I talk to you guys, the Cleveland Browns will have played the Kansas City Chiefs in the season opener on the road in Kansas City on Sunday. Here's hoping we have a victory Monday on Monday, and I will see you all then, everybody. Have a great weekend, and go Browns.